everyone, welcome to Winged Paper Crafting. My name is Angel Fitch. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad you've all decided to join me today. Today we're going to do our 8th and final set of alternatives for the December 2025 Paper Pumpkin Kit called Watercolor and Bloom. Here are the 9 cards that you could have made had you done them as intended, but you all know we do things a little different around here, so let's go ahead and get started with our first alternative. And while I'm getting this out, if I could just ask each and one of you, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do. Join us around here for all the fun and craziness that we have. I really do appreciate all of you being here. So, we are going to start with a card base of Secret Sea. That's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And we're going to give it a good burnish with our bone folder here. Got a piece for the inside of basic white that's 4 by 5 1/4. I've got a card base here that I have cut up into 4 1-inch strips, and we're going to put those on the front of our card here. Let's see, we're going to do the darker color on the bottom. So these are going to go here. I've got an oval punch out that was in the kit, this little flower cluster, couple of these doohickey things here that I cut out of the add-on die set for this quarter, and then this bloom that came from the Sweet Blooms stamp and die set. And we're going to do bloom and then where you're planted on the inside of our card. So let's go ahead and get started here. So let's do our card front first. I'm going to take each one of these little 1-inch by, 5 and, well, actually these look like I cut them down just a tad bit. So let me just tell you, they are 5 1/4. So I cut the card base down to 4 by 5 1/4, and then I cut it into 4s. So we're just going to put each one of these on here, and I'm not pushing them down really hard yet because I want to get the spacing right before I commit. So I'm sure we've got too much here, so we need to scoot these over a little bit. Okay, one more. And we need some room for this one, so we're going to scoot these all over just a little bit here. I want to leave a little gap between them, but not much, because we can't get them all on if we leave too much space. So let's put that one there. We're going to scoot this one over just a bit, and that was a little too much. There we go. Let's see if we can get our last one on here. Again, we need to scoot. Okay, there we go. Just a little bit more maneuvering here and we will get it. Possibly we'll get it. Oh my goodness. All right. It's going to be a very, very, very little space between them, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. We just need to get, so we can get our last one on to the card base. I think, actually, let's try something different here. Maybe we should have cut this down just a tad bit off of each side. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these edge ones up just a little. I'm just going to trim just the tiniest bit off of them. And I know it won't be perfectly even amongst them, but it'll be close enough. So I'm just going to shave off just kind of like a 1/16 of an inch here, so that we can get them all on. So let's put that one back on. I need to scoot it over. There we go. Okay, so that looks good for that one. I'm going to shave off just the same 1/16 of an inch off of this one. And we'll get that one off of our trimmer. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. I'm going to take this one up just a little. I'm going to scoot it over just a little bit. Okay. I thought I had cut this down so that it would fit, but obviously I did not. At least I didn't cut it down as far as I had intended to. Let's put it that way. I'm going to pull this one up and we're going to scoot it over just the littlest bit. This is like real life, you know, this is how it goes. Sometimes the best laid plans don't always work out the way you want them to. Oops, this one, we got to turn it around here. Okay, maybe we've got we might have it. Let's move this one down. It's a little too far to the top. Okay, there we go. All right, last thing I need to do here is put some more glue right here. Oops. I need a little bit of glue to keep this edge down here. Okay. And this one's crooked, wouldn't you know? So that's okay, it doesn't have much glue left on it, so we're going to put that down right there. Alright. Finally, we got it. Okay, I'm just going to get this excess of glue off in between these here. Alright, there we go. Perfect. Maybe not perfect, but it'll work, right? Okay, so there's the front of our card. Now, we've got this we're going to put right here in the middle. So let's put a little bit of glue on it. And I'm going to center that up just like that. Okay, so there's that. And next we've got our bloom piece. So we're going to put that there. Let's see what we're going to do with our little flower piece here. Let's see, maybe we're just going to put it right up here, and we'll layer our bloom across it. Okay, so let's take this, just a little bit of glue, and I'm just going to lay that down, maybe about midway down the little oval piece, just like that. And then we're going to take our bloom and we'll put it right there. Okay, so let's, a little bit of glue around this. Don't need a lot, so just kind of in the bigger spaces where it's easy to kind of touch it there. We're going to put this down. I'm going to just run it right over the bottom of that little bar piece there. And we'll get this pushed down here. Let's see. Okay, so we've got our bloom. Perfect. And I've got a couple of these other little pieces here. Let's see, where can we kind of tuck these? I don't know if we want to go down this way, or do we want to go up here? Maybe we'll go down at the bottom. Let's see, I'm just going to put just a tad bit of glue on here, a little bit. We don't need a lot. I'm going to see if I can just pick this end up here and tuck this under here. Yeah, there we go. Not quite not quite dry, so that gives us a little wiggle room there. Okay. So we've got that piece, and then we'll put this other piece on right under here in the middle. And we'll kind of do just like that. There we go. Okay, so there's that little cluster. Now, let's go ahead and do our stamping. So we're going to stamp on here. We're going to stamp in Pretty Peacock. And we're going to do the Where You Are Planted stamp. And we're going to put that on the inside. So we will line this up on our glass mat so it's somewhat straight. And we'll get this down here. Perfect. Okay, let's put the ink away. And we'll get this on the inside of our card. And then I think we need just a little bit of bling and we'll be good to go on this one. So let's get this in here. Just like that. Okay, so back now on our front, let's see, what can we do here? Let's do some of these white sequins. So let's see, we're going to get a big one. And we'll put it right there. And a little one right here. And one more little one somewhere. Where, I don't know, but somewhere. How about right there? Okay, so there's our cute Bloom Where You're Planted card. Okay, now our second one is going to be a lot easier than that one. We've got a piece of Pretty Peacock here that's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We'll give this a good burnish. I've got white for the inside, 4 by 5 1/4. I've got this piece that was in the kit. We're going to put right down here in the middle. Got a little piece of Pretty Peacock that is 3 1/4 by 1 inch. We're going to put this right here in the middle. We're going to stamp on this little, this came in the card kit as well. And then we're going to wrap some of this blue, this is Night of Navy, blue linen thread around it. So let's get this piece down first, and then we'll do our stamping. So a little bit of glue on this, and we're going to center this up. So just kind of like that. And then we're going to push this to the side. We're going to do our stamping. We are also going to stamp this one in Pretty Peacock. We're going to do Thank You out of the card kit onto our little piece here. And the little things you do for me mean so much on the inside. So let's ink up our thank you stamp here. And I'll line this up. And we will go ahead and get our thank you down. It's not good. I got the block right into the ink. Oh. All right. Hopefully we can, let me wipe this off so I don't get ink everywhere. Okay, so that's going to go here. And then we'll put that to the side and we'll do our little inside sentiment. So we'll line this up. We're going to put this right down here. Oops, that didn't work. It's a good thing the paper has two sides to it. Let's try that again. Oh my goodness. Okay. Ink it up. We're going to make sure we put pressure across the entire stamp. So that was on me that it didn't stamp right. There we go. Much better. All right, let's put this away. We might actually get through this video without me getting ink everywhere. We will put this on the inside. And We're going to go right in here with this, line that up, give it a good push. Okay, now I'm going to glue our thank you to the mat, and then we'll wrap that and tie a bow with our linen thread. So I'm going to line this up on here, kind of centered like that. And then I'm going to take this little piece of linen thread, and we are going to, oops, we're going to take this. I'm going to take a glue dot, if I can find one right quick. Let's see if I know what I did with my glue dots. Things that make you say, That's okay. Here's one that came in a kit. So I need to take one of these. Yeah, there it is on my finger. I'm going to, let's see, I think I want it on this edge. So I'm going to put this glue dot down right kind of there, maybe. It sticks to my fingers more than it wants to stick to the paper. Come on. You have to cooperate, but it's not going to. Let's try another one. I don't use these glue dots very often. I like my other ones, but now it's stuck to my finger. Okay, so we're going to put this down here. I just need it to stay there so that we can put this little piece of linen thread there. I just kind of want that to help hold that down while we tie our bow. So we're going to take this and we're going to tie a bow here. And then we will trim off our ends if they are too long, which they might be. I just cut off a generous piece of the linen thread because I wasn't sure. All right, let's try that again. That's not working. Hang on. Oh my goodness. It's the problem with trying to do a bow with two pieces of thread. I like the way it looks, but it's hard to do. And that glue dot is not going to leave me alone. Oh my goodness. It's crazy. All right, so let's tie this. Hopefully we can get a bow out of here. There we go. All right. And let's adjust our little ends here. Give that a good, okay, so there, it's just a little bit of interest on the end of our, I'm going to trim this just a little bit because they are a bit long. So let's just trim this off just a tad bit here. There we go. Okay. All right, so that then is going to go in the middle here. So we'll go ahead and give that some glue. And we're just going to put that right down in here. Just like that. And that looks pretty good. Okay, now, what are we going to do? Well, that's not straight. Let me straighten that up before it takes hold. There we go. Let's see about some bling for this. What do we think? I think it's too white to use the white ones. So let's use some of these bronze ones like we had used before, because I think they go relatively well with these colors. So we're going to do just, oops, where did it go? we will do just like, how about that? Just like that. Okay, perfect. So there we go. You got a nice thank you card and a nice bloom where you're planted card. So an encouragement card, we're going to call it. Okay, so that's all I've got for today. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. I will be back tomorrow with our first set of paper pumpkin alternatives from the January kit called Special Delivery. Here's a sneak peek. So here are the cards as intended. So it's a nice, pretty, springy looking card set, which is nice because I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting tired of this winter and cold weather. So I will see you all tomorrow. Have a crafty evening. Bye.